Yo, what is up, guys? I don't know why my camera's actually tweaking, I guess. Wait, hold. What is up, guys? I had to just get and record, because big news. We are actually changing it. I just finished my, video. Let's actually see how this did. Well, that's actually fucking brutal because, that is $20,000 on a combine. What the heck? 16,000 on this combine and a completely, let's go down in queue to show you, missed opportunity. No worries, guys. We're not stressing about this stuff. Obviously, it works. My psychology was bad today. Not permanent. Not permanent. I think I had strawberries with chocolate last night, which might have affected my, I don't know, my head. Sorry for talking like this. This is big news, though. We're changing the 10. Yeah, I was literally on the streets just thinking, and I was like driving home. I went to just to school just for lunch to finish my ceramics. And on my way back, I was literally just driving, and I was at a red light, and I was thinking, I was actually just thinking, and had nothing to do with the 10. What a fire name, by the way. I was just thinking in my head. I was like, why doesn't someone super successful, super rich, super young. Like I'm leaning back in my chair. The most successful person you've ever seen. I'm talking supercar 16 and biggest and most important part, which sets this apart, which is why I've never seen this. Someone who's like super locked in, a 16-year-old who actually grinded his way from the bottom, not daddy's money. Why have you never seen those guys drive up past you and make fun of you for I don't know what reason? You don't. You genuinely don't. You'll never see them caring about you. You'll never see them going around and talking about you. Now, maybe you'll see some guy with his daddy's money in a nice car drive up past making fun of you. You'll see that on online videos a bunch. But how many times do you actually see those guys who made that money themselves, completely from the startup? Maybe 1 in a billion people do that, right? 7 people on the earth have grinded from the very bottom to top and don't keep that mentality. And those people, you'll never see them stay in success. So, off the top of my head, someone who probably made his money mostly himself, Jack Doherty. He did make his money himself. He's still a jackass. But what happened? He fell fucking off. People don't like him. They don't respect him. And the way he makes money, grinding, is selling his morals. And I've talked about this before, but truthfully, I believe when you trade in morals for money, it's kind of it's just a easy easy swap. It's too easy of a trade to consider it successful. So like you do OnlyFans, I can't consider you, in my opinion. Sure, you have a lot of money, but success is a bunch of different. Like it's super different. And this does connect to focus on you. I didn't think about it at the time, but I was driving back. I was like, wait, damn. Back to it. OnlyFans, right? You might have a lot of money. That doesn't mean you're successful because you're. It's not actually like success. It's not like wow, that's real impressive. You worked your way around, you grinded for this. No, you just sold your morals, which is really easy to do. No diss on anyone. OnlyFans, rugging, scamming, um, blue coin, I'll say. Um, and then obviously the top of the top, which we have no, I'm not going to speak for you, but I have no clue what they do. But it's very clearly not ethical or moral. Is the top 0.001%, the Jews, right? Because I don't know how they do that shit, but I'm talking about like billions of dollars worth. They do some shit that's just like I don't know. Maybe ticks are they're making money off of us getting tick and Lyme disease and alpha gel. I don't know. But I'm not gonna get into conspiracy theories. I'm just saying that that's definitely like one of them. Very unethical. There's a million other ways that you can trade your morals. Somalians who are scamming our government, and sure, in some ways they're thinking it's ethically relevant because the government might be they don't like our government or whatever's in their head. We have to understand the perspective. Perspective is always a huge one. I might get that down later, but today was focus on herself, and it I don't know, maybe God just like was like, yo, I want you to expand upon this because wow, you've never seen that. You've never seen someone actually truly successful. And I'm not even talking about just that type of success. I'm talking about any purely successful person. You look at them, you say that person's successful. People on hikes, like you'll never see those. people you see mega the guy on Instagram who like travels a bunch, those people were like genuinely enjoying their life. They were successful. They worked, they grinded, they did whatever it took to get to where they are, and now they're where they're at and they're successful. And you'll never see them care about you. And not in like maybe they will if you're close with them. I don't know, sister, brother. But I'm talking you never see them expanding their care to people that they don't know. They're usually not caring about people in the streets who cut them off, people who are less successful, right? Random people who like maybe they don't, maybe you're racist, right? Maybe you just don't like black people. If they were racist, like more like in their head they were subconsciously racist. Those types of people still don't like go out in public and just like, I don't like those people, and they drive by black people because to them, though that's extraordinary. Like that's not extraordinary, but that's outside their bubble. What they're thinking about is them like is themselves. They're focusing on themselves. Maybe what's progressing them, maybe how they're gonna be most successful in terms of monetarily, enjoying themselves, travel, family, relationships. They're not caring about random people that they don't know. That's why you'll never see those super successful people in all these different categories actually go up to random people, maybe make fun of them, maybe prank them, right? There's a million different versions of success in everybody's minds, right? What's success to you? But whatever success is, right? People who actually achieve it, and I'm talking about the purest form of success. I'm not talking about that bullshit. You'll never see them caring about other people who don't matter to them. Because why would you care about them? You're spending you're wasting your cognitive function. I'm not even I'm not even cognitive function. You're wasting your breath, your mind, you're wasting your time on people who what benefit does it give you to care about these other people? And you'll see the most unsuccessful people do the most of this. And I'm talking people online, video games, teachers, principals, fucking ticket enforcers, right? These are some of the most unhappy people I've ever seen. And what do they spend most of their time doing? Worrying about things that don't affect them. Okay. Now, if you're a teacher and you, like, I'm going to say, for instance, like jinxie teachers, like people who like caring about other people is a part of what makes them feel morally, what fuels their ethics, fuels their moral confidence. Right? I'm doing something that's helping the world, right? They're caring about people. I think when that's what fuels you. Caring about people is actually like correlated to your success. 100% that's something you should chase, right? Again, there's a million different situations for a million different people. So I'm not going to say this is a one and done. This list is never going to be a one and done. This applies to everybody. But I think it applies to the most common person that we shouldn't focus on other people who don't matter. Like there's teachers who don't need to worry about students, but like maybe the student's late. Maybe they just care about that student being late because why the fuck would it affect you? I'm 5 minutes late to a specific class in my school, and I'm not ranting about this because, well, boo hoo, bitch, right? Nobody cares, but my teacher every time cares, and it is the most unhappy soul I've ever seen, or one of them, my teacher. And I'm not making fun of her. I'm not saying this, that, the whole 9 yards. I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to actually, point fingers. I'm saying that just I think there's a huge correlation between how much care she's putting into random things that she shouldn't, and what she should be focusing on herself. She should be focusing on things that like actually matter, right? I think there's probably like a group of 10 things that you can just, universally categorize as only things that you should care about. And I think we can all agree that on this 10 list, strangers shouldn't be on it, right? Um, Other people is what I mean, like social media. We shouldn't be giving our time to these things. I mentioned when I was talking about people, teachers, I said video games or online people. There are people online who will scroll past videos and type blank, 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 blank. You will never see someone with or not never, but you will very unlikely situation where you're seeing someone who grinded from the very bottom, commenting on videos that might affect their like maybe they're Republican, right? And again, I think um, because I'm just throwing out my opinions. Politics are very big a scam, very big a scam, or a very big scam. Very just keep people distracted. But let's say you are a Republican, or deep down you just care about Republican policies. You're not actually a Republican because you know that shit's a scam. You just want to enforce more Republican policies. Let's say that that's what you are, and someone digs at a Republican. I very rarely will see a very successful, and when I say successful, I don't again mean just money, right? I don't mean just someone who appears happy online. I'm talking about someone who's internally blissful, right? Someone who's actually enjoying their life because they're living to live, not living to, prove a point to other people, prove to live to look better. No, because people like that, Caligula, I'm sorry, they they're just like they spend their entire like like I said, love yourself and number two, they spend all their time devoting themselves to proving something about themselves. And you should never have to prove something to someone else. And maybe they'll say that I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone else. And maybe they'll believe that they actually don't think that they do. But if everybody in the world just flipped and started hating on them, there, I don't think that there's a single one of them that would continue producing if there was no chance that anybody ever changes their views on them. They think bad about them and there's no chance that they ever think good about them. That person, I don't know what's going to happen, but they're not going to have a good time because they've never really spent enough time loving themselves. I'm not talking about BP being stupid. I'm just saying it's kind of how that goes. BP goes around the idea that, I'm kind of spiraling out there's a circle. Maybe that goes to love yourself, but I think you should focus on yourself, okay? These people don't matter. Video game people will fucking spend all their fucking time hating on other people they have no clue about. I've Why do you think if you've ever played video games, you've never seen someone who's actually successful usually play video games, let alone talk to random people while playing video games and hate on them? Maybe they'll meet them, but I've never seen that. Personally, at least. It's very, or I'd assume a very uncommon experience where someone who's successful will actually care about you. Not because you don't matter, but because you're not in their life. You're not part of their life and you don't affect their life, right? Stop caring about things that won't affect you. Start caring about what will, right? Damn, you're wasting your time. I know this has nothing to do with trading. It's not like a trading video. It's not psychology, but I feel like this is part two of my trading recap 28. I didn't really go into focus on yourself. I think this is super important, very super important, which is why I'm putting this at number one. Until the next one, I think perspective's a really good one, but I didn't experience that today. That's not what's on my mind right now, but um, yeah, I experienced this today, so I'm putting on the 10 reasonably so. Super, super, super important, okay? It's super important. I genuinely think everyone can take something from this focus on yourself, or at least from the 10 list, right? And apply it to some part of their life to have some sort of growth. Thanks, guys.